Onto the supermarket and thought, should I use a shopping trolley or a shopping basket? So economists have wondered that, and they've studied it, and they found an answer for you. What they have said is that actually a shopping trolley is probably going to lead to better decisions. The reason for that is that you feel less tired having to carry around a shopping trolley. A shopping basket gets heavy, and then you want to get out quicker, so you end up making bad decisions. Whereas with a shopping trolley, you take your time, you feel comfortable, you consider the prices, you look at nutrition, and you end up making really good decisions. Economists also have thought a little bit about who is going to make a quicker buying decision. So if you had to guess, who do you think? Mr. Taylor or Mr. Hartley? Who's going to make a quicker decision? So what economists have found is that probably, maybe they don't know for sure, but probably Mr. Taylor is going to make a quicker buying decision. The reason for that is that T is way further down the alphabet than H, which meant that when Mr. Taylor was at school, he had to wait for the roll to be done, and he was tired of having to wait. And so now, as an adult, because he can control when he does things a little bit quicker because he always used to have to wait when he was at school. Economists also look at bigger sorts of things. So, if you had to look at these two images, what do you think Ronald McDonald and Pablo Escobar, a big drug lord, would have in common? So, an economist actually got to take a little look at the accounting books of some of the biggest drug lords in Chicago. And what they found is that both McDonald's and a lot of drug gangs, they have a lot of people on the ground doing a lot of the work, but then most of the money actually gets to stay only at the top. And so the way they run their businesses or the way they run their organizations are actually very similar. So if you're wondering what economics is all about, I kind of like to think of it as the love child of psychology, business, and politics. So a lot of governments will want to look at economics for answers, and the way they do that is try and figure out the way people will think, so the psychology of people, the way businesses will react, and together all those things will create the beautiful child of economics. It looks a little bit about why people make choices about spending, and then it also thinks about how governments can help people and address problems in an economy like poverty or unemployment. The reason why you could consider doing it is that it leads to lots of really good and exciting jobs. So, for example, people in the United Nations often want to hire people who know a little bit about economics so it can help them make decisions for developing countries in Asia, South America, and Africa. And it often leads to lots of jobs that allow you to travel as well. A lot of newspaper companies need journalists who understand economics. So economics can also lead to jobs in writing and journalism. So if you like writing, economics could be a good option for you. The other thing you could do is that if you ever turn on the news and looked at the part of the news where they look at stocks and shares, economics also tries to help to explain why some share prices go up and stocks go up and why some markets do better than others. So a knowledge of economics helps to make those kinds of decisions as well. And so many other options will be available to you, like teaching, working at universities, and even starting your own business or even buying a house. All of those things will be made easier if you understand a little bit more about economics. If you did economics, we'd do 4 units in over year 11 and 12. In year 11, what you'd focus on is demand and supply and a little bit about the psychological impact of economics. And then you also learn a little bit about why some countries are rich and some countries are poor, so the inequality between countries. And then a little bit about trade as well. So, for example, when we learn a little bit about how Trump's policies will impact the world. And then you also learn a little bit about the different types of systems. So, communism and capitalism, what do they mean? And what does that mean for their economies as well? In year 12, you'll learn a little bit more about exchange rates and how economic can impact people's lives. And then you focus quite a lot in year 12 about government policies. So you learn a little bit about tax and why governments tax people and those kinds of things. So economics is a subject that opens doors for lots of different jobs. It's a very interesting subject. And if you have an interest in subjects like politics, business management, or legal studies, economics is a really good subject to do with those subjects because it helps you understand those and also kind of links all of those subjects together. Hope to see you guys next year doing BCE economics, and good luck with your subject supermarket.